Hey everybody, what's up? It's Jay and welcome back. Now we're playing some Demolition here on Breach, as you can probably see. And in this game you're just going to see me go on an absolute tear on the enemy team. Like, it's not even funny. I go like, what, 38-0 with 2 Motherships. And to be honest, I don't really do this much because normally you get some like twats running around with a Brekkie or Haymaker. Or sometimes you get the absolute bellends that's running around with like, what, Overkill with Brekkie and Haymaker. And I don't know how bad it is on console. I think it is still quite bad, but on PC, the Brekkie and Haymaker are like just ridiculously overpowered because, you know, with keyboard and mouse you can be so much more accurate than with a controller, and it just makes those two weapons so ridiculously powerful. As you can see, I'm not using either of those guns, thankfully. Well, to be honest, I never use those guns simply because, like, I don't really like using guns that are overpowered, to be honest. It just feels wrong to me to use those guns. I prefer guns that are kind of not really used, but are still quite powerful, which normally ends up being burst weapons like the M8A7, or the XR2 is another one I really like, as well as the M16. M16 is a god gun. But yeah, here I'm using the Razorback with the quick draw stock grip and the ELO sight. And Razorback again is a gun that I don't really use much because it's one of those guns that doesn't immediately seem to be quite powerful. In fact, you know, if anything, it actually kind of seems to be underpowered when you first take a look at this gun. But if you can use this weapon right, it's actually like a laser, and honestly, this thing just tears through people. As you're going to see in this game here, I'm just running around murdering people with this thing. But that's not really what we're going to be talking about today. What I really want to kind of, you know, delve into is more along the lines of World War II. And also we're going to be saying goodbye to the jetpacks because I'm not sure about anyone else, but I really don't think we're going to be getting any more COD games with exo-suits. Even though I guess it's also worthy of being argued that Activision only really said that boots on the ground is going to be like, what, for the next 2 or 3 years. This was not last year, but this was like a few months ago when they had their big conference. And it's kind of when we first learned that World War II was going to be set in, obviously, World War II. It's, you know, back then Activision said that there's going to be, for the next few years, we're going to be going back to like the traditional boots on the ground COD setting. But they only really said like for the next few years, or I guess you could say the foreseeable future. Which means there is a possibility that they could be going back to exo-suits at some point. But for me personally, I don't think they're going to do that at all. I think this really will be the end of the exo-suit era. And, you know, years in the future when we look back on CODs, you know, I guess Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, and Infinite Warfare will be known as the 3 CODs games that are kind of like the jetpack era or the exo-suit era of COD, I guess. And to be honest, I have mixed feelings about the Exo-suit era because I remember when Advanced Warfare first came out, I actually really liked it. You know, I was one of those guys who kind of adapted quite well to the new movement system, and I found it really, I didn't find it really easy to kill people, but at the same time I wasn't one of these guys who just couldn't get a kill, the poor guys, because they just could not adapt. For some reason they just could not adapt to the exo-suits. But yeah, when Advanced Warfare came out, I liked it, you know, I thought it was a good game. I had a lot of fun playing it, and there was a lot of good guns in that game that I liked using. But then after a while I kind of went off it. I think back during that time I went back to, I think it was Black Ops, or was it Black Ops 2? I think it might have been Black Ops 2 more than Black Ops. I think it was both of the games, but more so Black Ops 2. And I just went and played those 2 games for, you know, the rest of Advanced Warfare's life cycle, because I remember when the what was it, supply drops, when they came out and they added in all those new variants, I just lost interest. It just kind of went over my head and I didn't like it. So then obviously, as I said, I played Black Ops 2 and Black Ops for a while until Black Ops 3 came out. And then when Black Ops 3 came out, again, when the beta came out for Black Ops 3, I really liked it. It was so much fun. And not really the same thing happens as with Advanced Warfare. That was a badly phrased sentence, how should I say that? God, I'm tired. Black Ops, okay, let's say it like this. I didn't have the same feelings for Advanced Warfare as I did with Black Ops 3. I actually enjoyed Black Ops 3 a lot more than Advanced Warfare, and as you can see with this gameplay, obviously I have adapted to this exo-suit setting quite well as well. But Black Ops 3, honestly, it's just been so much fun for me. Obviously, I think it's fair to say there have also been times when I've hated this game and wanted to uninstall it because of all the idiots flying around in their exo-suits and brekkies and stuff. But you know, still, even despite such things like that, I still think Black Ops 3 was a tremendously fun game. And as you can see with the motherships that I'm getting here, it's quite it is quite rewarding when you do go on high streets in this game. Even though I did never get a nuclear, surprisingly. I've never got a nuclear in this game, and I also never got a nuclear in Black Ops 2, even though I did get a double chem strike in Ghosts. And that is 2 chem strikes in one game, which was kind of surprising, but yeah, I mean, Black Ops 3 has honestly been a fun game, zombies, multiplayer, and campaign. To be honest, I don't think I'm gonna, you know, stop playing Black Ops 3 when World War II comes out, because I played a beta of World War II, obviously, and it was fun, but I'm not sure it's the kind of game that I'm gonna be playing for a whole year, you know what I mean? At least not zombies. Like, I mean, I'm not going to abandon Black Ops 3 Zombies, because Black Ops 3 Zombies was fantastic. But still, you know, I don't think World War II is going to be a game that I'm going to play for like the entire of its life cycle. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just for me personally, I think zombies in Black Ops 3 is going to keep me going back to it. Obviously, if it wasn't for zombies, then I think I would have already given up on Black Ops 3. I mean, as I said, that's not in a bad way, because obviously Black Ops 3 is you know, well past its life cycle now, and I probably would have stopped playing when Infinite Warfare came out, and I just probably would have gone like full-time Modern Warfare Remastered or something. But you know, I just you know, I really enjoy zombies. Multiplayer was a lot of fun while it lasted. I mean, these days there aren't really many people still playing multiplayer. There are still a few thousand, but you know, not nearly as many as there once were. But yeah, I think that'll be it for today. I think the gameplay's about to wrap up here. We got our double motherships. So yeah, I guess the last thing to say is just bring on the boots on the ground. Let's get rid of these exo-suits, and let's go back to the pure skill. The pure skill setting of Call of Duty, when there was no flying around and shooting people 50 times only for them to turn around in the air and one-shot you. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think that's going to be it for me for today. So thanks for watching, and peace out.